Today we are taking a look at a rather curious dimensional anomaly. We have recovered a transcript detailing the transference of a human consciousness into a magical implement, specifically a wand, within a high fantasy reality known as Luxaria. Rather than summarizing the events, I believe it is best to read the primary log in its entirety to understand the specific psychological and magical phenomena at play. This is I've Turned into a Wand in a Fantasy World. Chapter 1. Peculiar Greetings. A gray ceiling is all he saw, all the while feeling immobilized as a brick. Where am I? This isn't my bedroom. Moving is useless, as Haruto feels no control at all, except his eyes. Leering down, he sees nothing under but wood. Wait, what is this? Am I trapped? Has someone kidnapped me? Wanting to get out of this unusual wooden bind, Haruto tries to roll, but he feels no sense of arms and legs at all. Is this not a coffin or something? He struggles to wiggle, but moving was useless. Wait. Where's my arms and legs? I would have felt them immediately. Looking at his sides, he sees nothing but wood. Mang briefly pauses to display a diagram of plant anatomy to illustrate the protagonist's new physiology. Don't tell me the wood I see is my body. What is going on? Haruto's suspicions are confirmed, as the more he looks around, his body is nothing but a glossy wood now. What happened to me last night? Okay, think back to what happened last night. Closing his eyes, he reminisces about last night. I was just a regular school guy, obsessed with fantasy games and books. Even though my parents didn't like my lifestyle, I can't resist good stories. Okay, besides that, nothing out of the ordinary happened before going to sleep. Well, before realizing I got left back for my poor grades. My parents are going to disown me for that. He gasps as a thought enters his mind. Wait a minute. Did I die in my sleep? His shape is thin, but the place where his legs are supposed to be ends in a jagged, pointed tip. Am I in hell? What is going on? Whew. His eyes jolted up as he witnesses streams of blue rays of light flowing like waves going to one point of the room he's in. There, he saw a young girl with auburn hair and a messy ponytail, chanting. Luxara. No, that's not it. Luxera. No, not close. Luxarian. Vokara. Her slightly large robe began to move as wind formed around her from completing a drawn, chalk circle. She messily looked over a scroll in a panic as the rays of light began to dissipate. Come on, where's the word? Here we go. Finalis. The exact same beams of light grew brighter and fiercer as it began to guide its way around Haruto. Now surrounded, he felt a tingling sensation around his body. The sorceress approached Haruto in awe. I did it? I did it. Did what? You there, where am I? But his pleas seemed to not be audible to her. She continued seeing him glow as Haruto's form feels nothing solid under him. I'm floating? Poof. As the energy coursing through Haruto has vanished, he feels his body was now literally in the hands of the young sorceress. I can't believe I did it. My first true spell. We're going to do our best, mister. Huh? Ignium. Boom. Immediately flames formed from Haruto's form as the young sorceress wielded him. But the flame seems to be too much, as the sorceress began swinging Haruto awkwardly. How do I stop this spell? It's burning my home. Whoever you are, please stop this. The flames are hurting me too. Ah! As she continued to swing him around, the flames hurled themselves to the duo, covering them in small flames and soot. Haruto closes his eyes, wishing for this to stop. This is a nightmare. Please, I want to go home. I want the flames to stop. As she pointed Haruto to a single point of the room, the flames began to be less vigorous. Haruto even feels the high energy from him began to lighten as the flames were no longer hurting him. Little by little, the spell calmed down as the flames fully disappeared. Thank you. I'm pretty new to this, but it looks like you're full of hope. Oh, wait, let me see if I can talk to you properly. Going through a book of spells, she finds one certain spell. Telepathia. She closes her eyes as Haruto wonders what is going on. Hello? Can you hear me? Haruto's eyes widen as he hears her voice in his head. Yes, I can. Are you talking to me through telepathy? Lila is surprised at him guessing the ability correctly. How did you know, sir? Haruto blushes. I read and played a lot of games involving stuff like this. Tell me, what is this place, and what am I doing here? I am so sorry that you ended up here. My name is Lila, and you're in Luxaria. At a loss for words, Haruto listens. I was doing a spell to summon a being compatible of having strong hope to help me conduct spells. Sadness shows on Lila's face. You see, I'm a horrible sorceress. A majority of people can use what they have internally, but I had to use this spell I found from a library book on mythic spells. Thing is, I was just very desperate. I'm really sorry. Lila begins to have tears form as Haruto sees. Lila, don't cry. Believe me, this is very weird, but a pretty girl like you shouldn't cry. I wasn't as useful back where I'm from. I prioritized playing games and reading fantasy books over my own studies. I can help you along the way, I promise. Lila wipes away her tears and hugs him to her face, with Haruto blushing. Thank you, Mr. Oh, I go by Haruto. I was a student like you back home as well. A grin forms from Lila as she gains her enthusiasm once again. Nice to meet you, Haruto. I promise the moment I improve, I'll find a way to send you back home. Oh, right, I wanted to ask. Did I pass away from my world and you got my soul or something? No, you didn't pass on your world. Your high amount of hope got you here, but you can still live out your years when I improve. Sigh, Haruto is relieved. I'll have to check up on all documents and spells on how to turn you back to yourself. Haruto's eyes express happily. Thanks, Lila. Say, what was that you mentioned about me having hope? Hope is what powers our spells here. Seems like you had a bunch to help me calm down that flame spell. I'm sorry for that. I got carried away and wanted to try a basic spell. Taken aback, Haruto asks her, That was basic? Those flames spread wider than a 4-foot wide table. You want to do some other basic spells like levitation or immobilizing? Lila nods. We'll get to that soon enough. I want to ask if you are all right being with a girl like me as your friend for the time being. Wanting the chance at something in line with his hobbies, Haruto gladly accepts. I don't mind, Lila. I'll do my best in understanding this world, what I can do to help and guide you. That's fantastic to hear, Haruto. This world can be dangerous, especially if someone is full of despair. Raising an eyebrow, Haruto asks about this. Despair. Lila's hands tremble when hearing that particular word. Recently, this type of dark magic has begun to spread. All types of creatures began to harm others by using the opposite of hope. Oh, Haruto, please be with me all the way. Haruto tries to wiggle, but it's worthless. I can't go anywhere since you're wielding me. Lila chuckles. But I will always be at your side, Lila, Haruto adds. No goblins, orcs, elves, pixies, lamias, or beastmen will stop us. Lila grips him firmly now, feeling a strong connection of hope flow through her. I see your prior knowledge of these species can be very helpful. I'm excited to see where we can go from here, Haruto. Both satisfied, Haruto sees his first task they should do. Same. But first, let's clean up your room. Probably some levitation spells can work. Sure. Finis telepathiae. What was that, Lila? Hello? There's no answer. Keeping a mental check of this spell, Haruto closes his eyes to remember how their talk ends. Lila begins to hold Haruto steady as he prepares for more energy to course through his new body in a world not his own. Chapter 2. Bittersweet Welcome. I've turned into a wand in a fantasy world. Et organize mundum, Lila says when waving around Haruto in a swaying fashion. Oh boy, I better get used to this type of swinging, as Haruto's eyes roll. Haruto sees all the burned items begin to be put back in the proper place, but some items still suffered from charring and burns. Lila readies Haruto once again for something different. Autera Delir. Swinging around Haruto, a light blue fog emanates from him. Within a few seconds, all burn marks have disappeared from any object affected. Even papers once burned are reversed back to their original state. I can't believe it. This is a true fantasy world. I've been blessed to witness something like this. Oops, forgot there. Lila sees a heavily scarred portion of the roof. Cautera Delir. Swung around to the point of nauseousness, Haruto feels slightly ill. How am I getting sick even with no mouth or stomach? As all evidence of the burns are gone, Lila smiles once more. Yay, thanks, Haruto. Lila hugs him close to her face. Aw, it's nothing, Lila. Haruto blushes. Oh, right, telepathia. Lila enacts their only proper way of communication. I have to get used to doing that. Lila smacks her own head. Anyway, thank you, Haruto. She precariously grips his new form. No problem, Lila. I just can't wait to see what's outside. Haruto closes his eyes, letting his imagination think how unique this world may be. We'll be out soon from my dorm, as Lila stares at the exit. This is a dorm room? I thought it was your house. Haruto looks around to clarify that this room has 2 floors and a tall chimney and altar. Remember, Haruto, magic. Lila winks at him. Right. I'll be excited when we can talk again, Lila. His eyes express happiness. Finis telepathiae, said by Haruto, much to the confusion of Lila. What are you doing, Haruto? Laughs are heard from Lila as embarrassment fills Haruto. "I want to try out the spell you used earlier to end our first talk," expressed anxiously by Haruto as Lila rubs her eyes. "Haruto, I wield you. Only I can recite spells." A verbal gut punch to his mid-form was felt. Oh. Disappointment was felt as Lila rubbed near his eyes. "Maybe we can find some way for you to cite spells in this form." The vibrant smile in Haruto's sights was enough to lift his spirits. "I would love that. Thanks, Lila." Tears formed as Lila hugged him close again. "It's a promise. Finis telepathiae." Their communication ends as Lila puts Haruto on a wand sheath adjusted to her hip. With confidence in both of them, Lila opens her door to the hallway. There, Haruto notices the work of magic already in front of him. Numerous doors lined up within centimeters of each other, with certain numbers assigned. Some other students enter and exit on their own, as Haruto sees what type of magic is being used. Dimensional pockets? Glancing his eyes side to side, every student is given a lot more room beyond the closeness of their doors. Magic like this can be used so well to not only store, but to give anyone more room. As Haruto admires the room, Lila checks her own door and sees something not warranted. Markings and scratchings all say the phrase "puella inutilis," along with "worthless," covering all points of the door. Haruto, facing her point of view as well, sees all of this and grows disturbed. Did other students do this as well? Few other students walk by, confirming Haruto's suspicions. "Why is that girl even here?" one girl says. "She's as useful as a doorstop or a town oaf," another young man said. Lila takes out Haruto and points towards the harsh words sprawled on her room door. "Recede notationes." As Lila points, the words begin to erase. The door as well, showing as if it had been unmarked. Lila hovers over the last word with a sigh coming out of her mouth. "Looks like people are cruel no matter where I am." Eyes closed, Haruto reminisces how he used to have issues with students, mocking his love of fantasy. Teachers made him the center of attention, as he would rather read novels, getting detention for it, and having his locker marked with unnecessary taunts. Poor Lila. When we have the chance to talk, I'll give her an ear to listen to. Ironically, considering Haruto's form doesn't have ears. "Hey, Haruto, I know we can't talk, but you can probably hear me." Wishing to speak, Haruto tries to move. At best, he wiggles. "I'll take it as a yes. We'll talk later about this. For now, I want to show you Solara Academy." Haruto wiggles again. Lila walks away from the dorms as she reaches a grand hallway. There is everything Haruto always thought a fantasy school should have. Doors appearing and disappearing for certain classes, light portals and vortexes for some, as well as moving gargoyle statues looking down at the moving students. Gargoyles? Haruto quickly glances away from them, as it looked like they were staring through his soul. Not only humans were here, but elves, halflings, centaurs, and beast creatures too. Even humanizations of certain creatures can be seen to like cats, unicorns, dragons, and slimes. I wonder if these students are from special marriages, or probably from magic to make them appear more human, Haruto wonders. As Lila continues walking, doorways appear as students exit them. Some even walk through the walls and levitate to gain access to other parts of the building. Haruto looks all over and figures out how this building works. I see. This building must be some kind of hive mind, meant to help students get to their destination. Haruto is proven right, as some lizard students crawl on the walls, and a hole appears to guide them to horticulture. Lila reaches the end of the hall with an opening to the front of the school. A large pool is in front that not only hosts fishes meant for this world, but the students there, walking on the water itself with ease. Haruto's eyes couldn't believe what he sees. Some use creative fire tricks to make them appear like dragons. Haruto even glimpses at a female cat beast, sending a paper dove to her human crush. The dove metamorphoses to flowers and a note. Haruto, this is my school. This is what I call home. With his glancing around, Haruto sees the name of her home, Elite Luxarian Spell Academy. Chapter 3. Determined Backgrounds. I've turned into a wand in a fantasy world. As the bright sun illuminates the entirety of the school, Haruto and Lila oversee the interactions of numerous students, some human, while others are of a fantasy sort. Haruto, however, can't forget what he saw sprawled on Lila's door earlier. He wiggles to get her attention. It works, as Lila feels and sees Haruto lightly tapping her waist. Lila goes back to the main hall of the school, as a door appears next to her. She opens it, as Haruto sees it's a bathroom gifted by the building. Both enter, with Lila grabbing Haruto firmly. Telepathia. Lila, you there? Haruto says. Yes. Is there something you need, Haruto? Did you get scared by some of the students here? I get freaked out when I see the gargoyles seeing everything. No, but I wanted to ask if you're okay, especially those hurtful words that were etched on your door. Lila's pupils constrict after she hears. It's something I'm used to, Lila responds. This is something you shouldn't even be used to. You need to tell someone about this. It's borderline abuse, Haruto says with care. Listen, Haruto, I should have told you this when we first met, Lila says as her eyes show disappointment. What is it, Lila? I'm the worst student in this school. Haruto's eyes widen as he hears this. I barely pass my classes. I can hardly recite the spells. I'm just a pathetic sorceress. To this day, people say it was even a miracle I even got into this school. Lila, when I summoned you to improve my spellcasting, that's also frowned upon here. People see me as needing cheats or being too dumb to learn. Lila begins to cry as she hugs Haruto. Knowing this exact pain hits close to home for Haruto. Prioritizing gaming, fantasy reading, and even chat room debates on certain aspects for fantasy worlds. Lila, you're not alone there. Remember how I mentioned before how I struggled, right? Yes. I'm also the worst in my entire school. It's a big part of why my social and home life were bad. But there's something I always focused on, Lila, Haruto valiantly says. Huh? Having hope, Lila. I never give up, even if something is so tough. I pushed through all those that mocked me or attempted to put me down. Even the teachers, Haruto? Lila says sadly. Especially them. Know this. Those people who call themselves educators, but just put their own students down, are garbage. I showed them that when I pass, you can too when you practice over and over for spells. Thank you, Haruto. Lila begins to smile once again. You're welcome, Lila. Tell me this. Has anyone actually gotten someone like me to be a wand before? Or is it exclusive to people in this world? Haruto raises an eyebrow. Well, when I casted that summoning spell, it was meant to find someone, or something, that had enough hope from this world. But I think I did it wrong, and I pulled you from your world. Haruto shows signs of happiness in his eyes. Sounds to me you have talent, Lila. I think you're the first sorceress to ever do this. You should be proud. I don't mind being your companion. It's a dream come true. You certainly are a true hopeful guy. You're the sweetest, Haruto. Lila hugs Haruto. As this happens, Haruto glows a light blue aura. Not noticing it, a strand of the aura seems to wipe away Lila's tears. Their hug is interrupted as the exit of this summoned bathroom appears. Oh no, I think it's a dean. Talk to you later, Haruto. Finis telepathiae. The exit fully forms as a tall man wearing an all-red gown with rings and markings of the school's name glowing on his clothes arms. His face is of a middle-aged man with a stern demeanor, but with hair combed back. He sees Lila getting up. Hello, Sir Azrael. Lila stares in fright. Lila, I finally got the chance to talk to you. The building wouldn't let me approach you until you finished your business. Yes, sir. Do you need me for something? It's your midterm, Lila. You need to finish it today, and must go into the smoky woods right now, Azrael says sharply. Yes, sir. I was getting ready to go, Lila says shakily. Remember, Lila, this is your final chance to stay here. If you don't do this, you'll be expelled and sent home to your farming village, sternly said. I understand, sir. I'm going. Lila exits the bathroom as the dean follows behind. Lila walks through the halls as the dean is behind her. This gets the unfortunate stares of some students and their stubborn conclusions. Is that girl finally going to leave? A Lamia girl says. Let's hope she's expelled for disgracing us sorcerers, a male elf says. But Lila is not fazed. She looks on with determination and has Haruto by her side. Haruto looks on too, as he is more determined than ever to assist Lila. As they make it to the main entrance, Lila holds Haruto close to her cheek. Let's prove everyone wrong, Haruto. Lila smiles as Haruto blushes. Haruto wiggles to comply with Lila's statement. I know you can't hear me now, Lila, but let's do this. Lila preps up her cloak on her and puts on her head. What was once a sad girl is now a determined one, as Lila sees a sign for the smoky woods. Only 1 mile away, it is visible from her point of view as tall oak trees and shrubs are enveloped with a smoky fog. Haruto's hope causes him to glow slightly as Lila looks on. Haruto, we need to get a common gold coin from a troll. He has many, but every student needs one to prove they know how to get past them. Haruto wiggles as Lila's destination are now closer, as she approaches her only chance at staying and proof for having a great use of hope. Chapter 4. Friendly Encounter. I've turned into a wand in a fantasy world. Lila walks to the edge of the smoky woods as the thick fog emanates from all tree and plant life. Haruto sees some nearby shrubs releasing fog vapors as he squints his eyes from the bothering fog. This fog certainly is annoying. The plants release it to protect themselves, Lila tells Haruto. My eyes. Now I know why it's called Smoky Woods. The fog keeps bothering me, Haruto says as he wiggles to get her attention. Lila feels Haruto's pleas as his eyes are watering. She wipes his eyes as Haruto feels relief. Thank you, Lila, Haruto expresses. I need to do something about this fog. Haruto, I'll need you here. Lila grabs Haruto and breathes. Plena luxariana vocara. Haruto glows as he lets his energy release into the air. There, a massive floating blue square with various incantations and words appears. Lila gazes as she slowly moves Haruto downward to scroll through the words. Where is it? There must be something to be used to get rid of this fog. Lila skims through the words as she rubs her eyes. Haruto closes his eyes as he concentrates his energy on the spell. Lila keeps looking until she finds the words she needs. Got it, Haruto. You can stop it for this spell. Haruto hears Lila and begins to slowly stop using hope for the spell. It disappears in no time. I'll definitely have to get used to that. I'm a little worried if I use too much energy, like that fire spell. Lila clears her throat as she holds Haruto steady. Evaporare. An orange aura begins to expel from the tip of Haruto as the fog and its effects begin to disappear. That's better. Keep focusing, Haruto. This fog won't bother us anymore. I'll do my best, Lila, Haruto expresses, even though she can't hear him. With a clearer view and no issues, Lila continues walking as she holds Haruto. Step by step, Lila keeps an eye out for the troll she needs to encounter. Haruto does the same as he keeps glancing anywhere he sees. Minutes pass by as no troll can be found. Where is that troll? Lila says. Snap. Lila stays still as she turns her head around. She sees nothing as Haruto has his eyes wide open now. Who's there? Lila asks. No one replies. This is getting creepy, Haruto expresses. Crack. Ah! A mysterious figure yells out. Something lands on top of Lila as she loses Haruto. Lila readies her fist awkwardly as the figure begins to get up. She sees it's not fully human, but has animal ears, like a fox. Sorry, girlie. Didn't know if you were real or a trap put out for this assignment. Lila gazes as it's a male kitsune with orange fox ears, same colored tail, and wearing loose pants with a vest version of her school's attire. But something catches Lila's mind. Ah, where's Haruto? Haruto, please, keep glowing. Haruto lays flat on the ground, not knowing what is going on. He focuses his energy on the spell Lila casted earlier. She looks all over the ground and finds Haruto. Oh, Haruto, are you all right? Haruto wiggles as his eyes focus on the figure standing bewildered. Honey, are you talking to a stick or something? The male kitsune asks. Huh? No, it's my wand. I can't go anywhere without Haruto. Lila hugs Haruto. Okay. As I said earlier, I'm sorry for landing on top of you. My name is Taro. Taro smiles. I need to get a gold coin for this assignment. I ended up leaving it to the last minute, and the dean was not happy, Taro adds. Wait, really? Same here, but I struggled with making spells until I met Haruto. Taro looks uncomfortable as Lila speaks and hugs with her wand. Are you all right, Miss... I'm Lila, and this is Haruto. Lila shows Haruto on her palm. Nice to meet you two, I guess. Wait, your wand has eyes? Taro looks in shock. Yes, Haruto is not from here. I conjured up a being full of hope to help me, and I ended up having him for my wand. Taro looks speechless, as he has never seen or heard anything like this. He snaps out of his shock to ask them something. So, have you two seen a troll? I seriously need to complete the assignment. Lila shakes her head in disapproval. Nope, the both of us have been trying our best, and nothing so far. Taro expresses as his ears begin moving to sense a noise. Haruto looks on as the kitsune appears to have targeted something from listening. A real-life kitsune in front of me. So cool, Haruto says happily. I think I hear the troll. It's about at least 5 minutes from where we are now, Taro says. Great. Is it all right if we tag along with you? Lila asks. Taro sees both of them, hoping to hear a yes. Although weirded out by the two, Taro nods positively. Thank you, Taro. Me and Haruto owe you one. The three of them begin to go towards their destination, as Taro scratches an ear of his. But he can't help but keep glancing at Haruto behind him. So, Lila, you conjured someone not from Luxaria? Yes, it was a complete accident, as I must have said the spell wrong. How'd you know? Lila and Haruto raise an eyebrow. Usually, fairies or golems would have helped you and become a hope enhancer for you. Also, talisman markings would have been left on your wand to help determine who's in it. Taro looks over Haruto's body to see he is right. He's just an ordinary wand with eyes and no other markings. Say, can he talk? Taro asks. No, I can only communicate with him through telepathy, Lila responds. Oh, thank goodness. I have a limit to what I can accept. A talking stick with bulging eyes would have been it for me. Haruto looks annoyed as he hears Taro's claims. I'm not a stick idiot. I'm a wand, and Lila's best friend, Haruto says, unheard though. Oh, that's another thing. No wand anywhere here has eyes, even if it has someone inside. Your weird wand is one of a kind, Lila, Taro enthusiastically says. Weird? I'm not weird. You're weird for focusing on your issues for my eyes. Haruto closes his eyes in disgust after his unheard rant. Lila and Taro continue walking as Haruto continues emanating his energy to dispel the fog from its effects. Taro's ears shift as he guides them to the troll. In no time, they find a clearing where there's no fog and a large cave with some gold coins. We made it, Haruto. You can calm your energy now. Haruto concentrates to end the spell, as now the three of them see a large, green, pale-like troll guarding its treasure. Knowing their biggest challenge yet is here, Haruto is more determined than ever to assist Lila in any way. Chapter 5. Troll Encounter. I've turned into a wand in a fantasy world. Gazing upon the large troll, Lila and Taro know it's physically impossible to take down due to their unmatched height. That troll has to be at least 9 feet tall, Haruto says to himself. All three see it keeping an eye out for anyone. Wielding a battered club, it drags it on the ground, looking menacing. Lila and Taro duck back down. That troll is definitely not happy the other students took his gold coins, Taro says quietly. We need to be smart in getting past him. Let's think. What do trolls hate or get distracted by? Lila responds softly. Lila, no. Trolls are simple creatures, Haruto says, unheard. Haruto wiggles again, gaining Lila's attention. She grabs him and readies another conversation. Telepathia. Yeah, Haruto? I can help here. Trolls don't have to be bothered with what they hate. We can use stealth or distractions to get one of his gold coins, Haruto explains. I'm listening. Lila leers in towards Haruto. There's many ways to distract him. We can use a camouflage and throwing rocks combo use something to hide us, like the fog. Or we can use a decoy, Haruto gleefully thinks. Those all sound good, but I've never successfully been taught camouflage spells, Lila states. What about that spell you use to look up other spells, like a dictionary? We can use that. I know what you mean, Haruto, but we're not prepared for those spells, Lila says to Haruto's eyes. What do you mean, Lila? I'm full of hope. We can use any spell. Haruto expresses his eyes happily. That's the thing. You can handle a lot of hope, but using them on me takes a lot of my focus for the spell to work. I need proper training to do so, Lila says disappointingly. Okay, we'll tackle that later. How about something to cover us? Maybe. I'll test it out. Finis telepathiae. Lila holds Haruto at the ready. Haruto, I know one spell. Get ready, Lila says quietly. Haruto focuses on being ready. Attrahere particulas, Lila says while aiming Haruto towards the fog. Haruto glows his usual blue energy as an orb of fog begins to form in front of the two. Taro sees this and notices what they're trying to do. I see. Pretty smart, you two. Taro nods in support. As the big ball of fog forms, Lila steadies her grip on Haruto as she begins to aim it towards the troll. The troll immediately notices the massive ball of smoke. It was as big as a 20-foot boulder in circumference. Okay, Haruto. On the count of 3, stop focusing your energy, Lila whispers. 1, 2, 3, Lila says quickly. With the spell finished, the massive orb of fog dispersed all over the troll's land. Ah! Who did that? You're gonna pay for getting this annoying fog in my eyes. The troll immediately begins rubbing his eyes. Lila and Taro see the perfect moment to get their gold coin. Okay, Lila, don't move. I'll get our gold coins, Taro says. Using his ears and instincts, he dashes towards the coins with no hesitation. Gaining a few of the coins, he dashes back as the troll keeps rubbing his eyes. Lila and Haruto couldn't believe what they saw, as Taro's reflexes were fast. Got them. Let's move, Taro tells the two. All 3 immediately get out as the troll gains his eyesight back. His anger, however, is reaching its limit. I'm tired of this. I'm hunting you all down, yelled out by the troll. It can be heard for a few miles. Lila, Taro, and Haruto run as fast as they can, but the fog is making their eyes water again. Lila grips Haruto and casts their solution. Evaporare. Haruto's glow is orange once again as the fog disappears. Lila and Taro keep running to be within safe distance from the troll. Minutes pass by without rest as Lila looks back. I think we're safe for now. Let's stop for a moment. Lila and Taro stop to catch their breaths. We have to get out of here, Taro says, full of exhaustion. Where are we? Lila responds as she breathes. Don't know. Let's keep going in the direction where we entered. We need to make it to the road to get back to school. Sounds like a plan. The two nod as they begin walking again. Oh, right. Here's your gold coin. Taro hands over 2 gold coins to Lila. Wait, why did you give me 2? Don't you need 1? Nah, I already got 1 for myself. I ended up taking 3 gold coins. Besides, the 3rd is a gift to that stick you talked to. A joyous smile forms on Taro. Haruto rolls his eyes after hearing the quick remark. I'm a wand, you idiot. Stop calling me a stick. It's going to be a thing with you, isn't it? Haruto expresses, although unheard, as always, in this state. But thank you for the coin, Taro. It's a dream to finally get my first treasure. Haruto closes his eyes as he thinks of the gold coin. Snap. The trio freezes as they look around to find out what made the noise. Nothing can be seen beyond the fog and thick trees. Let's just get out of here, Lila states. Crack. Ah! Pow! The yell and attack was from none other than the troll. Wearing a blindfold, it sniffs out the three of them. Lila looks around and sees Taro knocked against a tree. Ugh, my ribs. Taro grips his ribs. Want to fight, you damn monster? Fine. Repulsio, Taro yells out. But to the confusion of Lila and Haruto, he doesn't cast it with a wand, but with his fingertips. A white ball of energy cast out of his index finger as the energy aims towards the troll. Making contact with him, it pushes the troll back on his bottom. Ah, you're all going to pay from stealing from me. The troll gets back up immediately. Swinging wildly, Taro dodges as another blow as the troll keeps sniffing the air. I need help, you guys, Lila snaps out, and tries to think of something to stop the troll once and for all. Ooh, I got it! Haruto, get ready! Haruto stops focusing on the fog spell and prepares for Lila's idea. Congela! Lila screams out. Haruto feels something strong as his entire form shakes. His aura is now a very misty white. Why do I feel cold? Haruto asks himself. A burst of first-like mist expels from Haruto and targets the troll. The burst grows and grows as the troll is stuck in place to the ground. Ice holds him in place as the extreme cold has ended the attempted attack. Haruto, please stop. That's enough. More frost expels as multiple trees and bushes are covered in ice. Come on, focus. Think warm thoughts, Haruto says, in an attempt to calm himself. Little by little, the spell began to dissipate. Taro looks as he sees an entire large portion of woods in front of them is now all frozen. Whoever you have with you certainly has a tremendous amount of hope, Taro shakily says. The spell finally stops as Lila sees the effects of her spell. The frost has affected dozens of feet behind the now frozen troll. It was risky, but it was the only thing I could come up with on the spot. I'm sorry if I pushed you, Haruto. I panicked. Lila rubs against the side of Haruto's eyes. I know, Lila. It was worth it to keep everyone safe. Haruto expresses his unheard words. Let's continue walking. We should be halfway to exiting the smoky woods. Taro tells Lila and Haruto while grasping his ribs. Thank goodness, we had enough excitement for today. Lila speaks for herself and Haruto. Evaporare, Lila says, as she once again aims her best friend to the fog. The three begin to walk away as the troll's eyes look at them, full of anger. Haruto closes his eyes in disbelief for how his first treasure task went. But all that matters is Lila proving herself to be a great sorceress. Chapter 6. Blossoming Friendship. I've turned into a wand in a fantasy world. Nearing the edge of the smoky woods, Lila lets out a sigh of relief after her first ice spell successfully worked earlier. We finally made it, a stressful Lila says. Finally, I need to get to a doctor in the school, Taro exclaims as he grips his side in pain. Haruto, we made it to the edge now, Lila tells him. Haruto concentrates on stopping their aid against the fog again. The spell stops as Lila puts Haruto on her waist's holder. Looking on, Lila and Taro walk down the road. Taro, I've been meaning to ask. How did you do a spell without a wand? Lila says as she looks curious. I can just naturally do it. It's been a special gift of mine. Taro smiles as he moves his fingers. Really? You're a true wandless user? Lila asks. Yes, I can conjure up a spell by saying it and using my index finger. Although, I can't use every spell. At least not yet. Taro looks over his finger he used earlier. Does it hurt when you use spells? Lila wonders. Not really. It feels slightly warm. But if I used any heavier spell, I could cramp up my finger. Taro shakes the idea of it through his hand. I'm not going to lie. You have it lucky, Lila. My spellcasting takes a ton of concentration, and there's the chance it can injure my hand. I'm lucky to have Haruto as my hope enhancer. He's a great friend to talk to as well, Lila says as she looks down at her waist. Thank you, Lila. Your friendship and comments are heartwarming, Haruto says to himself while blushing. You know, can I talk with Haruto? Taro asks Lila. Lila looks surprised at Taro. Sure. The thing is, I have to figure out the right spell for it. What do you mean? Can't I just hold him and use that same spell you used to talk to him? Taro responds. Wands are only meant for their true owners that wield them first. Anyone else that uses it won't be able to cast spells. Lila holds Haruto with both hands. Why would that ever be a rule? Taro asks dumbfoundedly. It's meant to protect all sorcerers and sorceresses from anyone using their wand illegally. I know I would never want Haruto to be used for evil. Lila hugs Haruto quickly. I would keep that to your word, Lila, Haruto says while looking at her. Let me see if there is any spell that can help you communicate with him. Lila speaks, with Haruto ready in her hand. Plena Luxariana Vocara. Lila waves Haruto slightly. A blue square full of various incantations and spells reappear. Moving Haruto slightly to the right, she can immediately find spells for communication, like a textbook. Where is it? She asks herself. Glancing her eyes over countless spells, Lila can't find anything for something simple. Hey Lila, can we speed this up? I seriously need to see a doctor. Lila glances at Taro, gripping his injured side again. There's nothing simple for me to use for... Wait, I think I found it. She looks closely at this particular spell. Yes, I got it. Readying Haruto, she points it at Taro. Telepathia interduos. Haruto's energy sparks up as Lila focuses on aiming Haruto to Taro. Taro feels a warmish feeling as he looks around his body. Okay, how does this work? Taro asks Lila. Just think your thoughts to Haruto. I have a connection between the two of you now, Lila says. Taro looks at Haruto and speaks his thoughts. Hello? Anyone home? Yes, I'm here. Taro looks surprised as he hears a guy's voice. Whoa, you sound like me. What do you mean I sound like you? I'm surprised everyone in this world speaks my language. Hey guys, let's continue walking. I'll hold Haruto as we walk, Lila says. The three of them move towards the school as Taro continues his thoughts. I want to get a few things out of the way, Haruto. First, are you some old guy? Haruto looks annoyed by that question. No, that would be weird. I'm around the same age as Lila. Hey Lila, just how old are you? Taro asks Lila, looking confused. 16. Why? Just checking. How about you, Stickman? Your age? Okay, first, I'm not a stick. I'm a wand. Second, I'm 17. Haruto stares at Taro. Right. Okay, got that out of the way. Why did you accept this life? What do you mean? Haruto looks at Taro with confusion. You're not from here. You're from some other world. Don't you miss your old home? Haruto pupils begin to look downward. That's one thing I don't miss. I was seen as a failure back home. Why do you say that? I've focused on nothing but playing games and reading stories rather than my academics. Taro looks at Haruto with empathy. Same here, man. For me, I like to just laze around. I thought you were agile like before. You know, with the troll, Haruto replies. I am, but I don't like using it for schoolwork. It's tiring. Taro rolls his eyes. All I want is to enjoy the breeze, lay around, and worry about nothing. Taro tails shakes happily, thinking about it. Sounds like a peaceful existence, Haruto replies. It is. I do see why you like hanging around with Lila. Well, I don't have a choice, but I'm glad she's a sweet person. Haruto's eyes express happily. What I mean is, both of you legitimately support each other greatly. You're true best friends. I'm glad to be supportive and helpful in any way. Besides your jokes, you seem like a cool guy. Same here, Stickman. Same here. Haruto is slightly annoyed, but accepts the fun nickname. Okay, Lila and Haruto, you can stop the spell. Taro verbally speaks. The spell stops as Lila puts Haruto on her waist again. You two certainly had a good talk, Lila says gleefully. We did. I even forgot about the pain on my ribs. Grabbing his side, Taro supports it again. What did you two talk about? It was mainly guy stuff, Taro replies. Guy stuff? Lila questions. Well, mainly where he's from, and about a connection he has with someone. Haruto looks at Taro. Where are you going with this man? The unheard Haruto says. Oh, I see. Lila looks down at Haruto and smiles. She uses a thumb to lightly rub beside him. Haruto blushes as Taro looks at him and nods. Thank you for accepting our friendship. You're cool, Taro, Haruto says, unheard though. Not going to lie, I see why you like talking with him now. He's straightforward and easy to talk to. Taro winks at Haruto while smiling. He certainly is the best. Can't get anywhere without him anymore. The three continue walking as their connections have grown. Haruto, Lila, and Taro see the sign that points directly to the school, and now walk towards it with proof of their accomplished endeavors. Chapter 7. Courageous Accomplishment. I've turned into a wand in a fantasy world. The trio has made it to the entrance to the front of the school. As Lila and Taro walk over the large pool of water, Haruto looks down and sees their feet strolling over it as if it were concrete. So cool, Haruto says, unheard. Passing by countless random students of varying species, Taro takes out his coin and starts to flip it. A few elves and lamias see him and his public showing. This guy, we get it, you completed your task, one male lamia says as he rolls his eyes. To be fair, you guys made me do this since you mocked me. Just because I'm laid back doesn't mean I can't complete my tasks. Taro pockets the coin and glares at his mockers. No idea why all guys and girls have to act like judges 24/7, Taro says. Lila sees this and hugs her gold coin close in her pocket. Haruto recognizes her fist gripping as he looks sternly at all the other students that judge his friends. Taro definitely deserves respect, even if he rubs it in front of his mockers. The three of them make it to the Grand Hall, where countless entrances open for students' destinations. Let's find a free wall to use to make it to Dean Azrael, Taro instructs the other two. With students busy entering and exiting the doorways of countless rooms of the school, the trio find a good empty space not being used to summon any doorway. Taro stands in front of the wall and closes his eyes. Haruto looks as energy forms from Taro, with a shiny blue rectangle doorway summoning. I guess the doorway usage is different, depending on the student and where to go. The nice building did summon that bathroom for Lila earlier. Maybe because of me? Haruto says to himself. Okay, we should make it to the dean now. Let's go. After Taro tells the other two, he enters it. His entire body and form vanish as it becomes one with the light. Lila goes afterwards with Haruto as their bodies also disappear with the light. Haruto feels a sense of hope, with his body coinciding with the energy being used. Tingling, his form shakes by the time all three are in it. Why does this feel so comforting? Haruto closes his eyes, imagining he's laying on clouds. Within a few seconds, the three of them fully form back on the other side, as Haruto quickly opens his eyes again. The comfort is gone. Oh well, it did feel nice. Taro and Lila see the dean, marking and scoring students as he waves his wand. Looking around, countless books and papers surround the dean as some glow. Haruto looks with shock. Azrael simultaneously grades 10 students at the same time and gives them various numbers upon their academics. He sees Lila and Taro frozen in place by his skill. How can I help you two? He says sternly. Lila steps forward and pulls out her gold coin. Here, sir. Both of us went through a lot of trouble to get our coins. Isn't that right, Taro? Lila looks back at Taro. Yeah, I think I bruised my side, but it got numb now. Taro takes out his coin and tosses it to Azrael. Lila lays her coin more gently on his table. Azrael looks at both coins. Gently feeling the metal and details, his facial demeanor becomes dumbfounded. Wow, you two certainly surprised me. Azrael stares at Lila. Especially you, Lila. I heard of how you struggled to conjure up spells and incantations from lacking hope. That's an issue of the past, sir. I gained a boost from encouragement from friends. Lila rubs her thumb on the top of her wand, unknown to Azrael about who is in it. I see. Whoever your friend must have been had the effect on you. Azrael pulls out his files for Lila and Taro. I can pass you, but there's an issue with you two. Lila, Taro, and Haruto look confused with what Azrael has brought up. What do you mean? Taro asks. The entire school heard of your adventure with that troll. It yelled so loud it scared everyone here. Taro and Lila rub their own hands and heads, looking uncomfortable. I had to send out some security to see what happened, and they found the troll frozen in ice, including over 12 feet of frozen wildlife. Bang! A hit on his own table startles Lila and Haruto, as Dean Azrael gets up and approaches the two. You two were supposed to just get the coins undetected, not get in a fight with the damn creature. Eyes now veiny and turning red, shifting between the two. To be fair, sir, we did it undetected. But that troll has some serious anger issues since it stalked us. Taro's fur stands up as he looks at the dean. Silence! Because of you two, the guards had to unfreeze him and put a forgetful spell on him after he assaulted them. He goes to Lila's face. Tell me why I shouldn't kick both of you out for disrupting the school and causing a ruckus. Lila's hand trembles. Haruto can't stop staring at this horrifying man. Jeez. This guy makes my teachers and deans look like kindergartners, Haruto says to himself. I'm waiting for you, young lady. Azrael stares down her soul. Sir, with all due respect, we completed our tasks, Lila says shakily. Me and Taro both completed what you asked, and have proven that we have what it takes to stay here. Lila's voice grows stronger. Fine. We both don't have the best track record. However, we have shown you and the school we can use hope to defend ourselves. Sternly looking at Azrael, Lila has stopped shaking. I'm tired of people telling me that I can't do anything. But guess what? I proved them wrong. Lila points at the gold coin on the table. You see that coin? I risked my life with Taro, and even conjured up spells I never did before. Haruto looks on with happiness, seeing Lila stand up for herself. My friends have encouraged me to try, and I did, and guess what? It paid off. That's all it takes, sir, to get anything done. To try. Azrael looks at Lila as he walks back behind his desk. I don't want any more events like this from either of you. You both understand? Azrael says back. Yes, sir, Lila and Taro say in unison. Both of you passed the midterm and can stay, albeit with barely passing grades. Azrael uses his wand and marks down Lila's and Taro's files for the assignment, giving them a grade of 70. Both of you, head back to your dorms. Yes, sir. Just a minute, Lila. Can I see your wand for a minute? Azrael extends and opens his hand. What for, sir? That unusual decoration you put on your wand. Why eyes? Lila stands still. With no option, she slowly hands Haruto to Azrael. Haruto is frozen and doesn't move any inch of his eyes. Azrael sees the eyes and touches them. Haruto feels no discomfort, though, and keeps his eyes still. These eye decorations serve no purpose. Why do you have them on it? Azrael asks. For encouragement, sir, Lila says, making Azrael confused. Encouragement? I always have someone close to me looking out for me, no matter what. That's what powers my hope. Azrael looks back at her wand and hands it back to her. I don't get you kids and your encouragement these days. Please leave my office. Azrael points to the wall behind them. Also, Lila, take your wand to the repair shop tomorrow. There's a small crack behind it. Lila sees it and lightly rubs it. Brushing it off for now, they continue their way out, and a rectangular blue door immediately pops up. The trio passes into it, with Haruto feeling the comfort for a few seconds before it disappears. Lila and Taro breathe as if they took a jog. You're lucky he didn't recognize Haruto. You can get expelled for conjuring up a hope enhancer like him. I know, but at least I have my close friend by my side. Lila hugs Haruto against her face. Okay, you two buddies can go to your room. I have to go to see the nurse about my side. No problem. See ya, Taro. Same. Oh yeah, If you ever want to reach me, I'm by the west wing of dorms. See ya, Lila, and feel better, Stickman. Taro smiles at them as he focuses on energy to conjure up a passage to the nurse. Let's go, Haruto, Lila says as Haruto wobbles. Lila begins walking to her room as she passes by students talking about the yell from the troll. Can't you believe they're that loud? A female minotaur says. I heard some people got hurt trying to stop it, says a female halfling. Well, I heard a few students were the cause of it. The moment these guards teleported back here, they mentioned how a young human girl caused it, a female cyclops tells them. Lila passes by countless other students talking about the event. Unknown to them that Lila was the one. Within a few minutes, they make it to Lila's door. Looking at it, there's no hurtful markings. Lila smiles and enters her more expansive room than how it looks from the outside. She takes off her robe and gets Haruto ready at her hand. Telepathia. Lila, I'm so proud of you. You stood up for yourself. I know, Haruto. It feels so good. You should feel good, Lila. You took on a troll and proved you have what it takes. You're the best, Haruto. Tell me, do your eyes hurt after what Dean Azrael did to you? Surprisingly, no. Although I kept my eyes straight to not get more attention. Lila smiles. Excellent. How about the crack? Does it hurt? Lila immediately turns him to look closely upon it. I didn't feel anything, strangely. I feel no pain. Yet I feel hot and cold sometimes with the spells. Oh, you poor thing. I think that ice spell was a bit much. I shouldn't have concentrated on a big spell and a big area effect. Don't blame yourself, Lila. I focused all of my hope on it. I think I went overboard. You'll feel better. Lila looks at Haruto's eyes. Yeah, say, did you feel anything weird when passing through that magic doorway? What do you mean? Lila responds. I felt a relaxing feeling, like I was in the clouds. Thinking about it makes Haruto blissfully close his eyes. For me, I didn't feel anything like that. Maybe it's because you have a bunch of hope, and you felt something similar. Maybe. It felt nice, though. Also, how come some doors magically appear, and others require focus? It depends on the rooms and destination. Like bathrooms are available no matter what, but for certain offices, it requires concentration. Haruto's eyes blink in astonishment. I see. Same thing for exiting, right? Sort of. People like Azrael can point and summon any doorway that can lead anywhere in the castle. Can you lead a doorway to your personal room? Oh no, thankfully. We all have to walk to our rooms. If any student can summon a passageway to a dorm room, others will. Right. Don't want intruders or students causing trouble. Lila reaches into her pocket and takes out the third gold coin. How's it feel to get your first treasure? It feels great. Where should we put it? For now, let's put it in my drawer by my bed. Nice. Do you need anything else to be done, Lila? No, I have the weekend for myself now. Let's get some well-earned sleep. Sure thing. Also, where should I sleep? Got the place for you on the top of the drawer. I'll make it comfy. Haruto blushes. Thanks, Lila. You're the best. You're welcome, Haruto. I couldn't have gotten this far without you. Finis telepathiae. Lila proceeds to her bed and the table beside it. Holding the gold coin, she places it in her bottom drawer. She also grabs a thick cloth to put on top of the drawer. Folding it, she places it and then Haruto softly on it. Night, Haruto. We'll see the wand repair office for you to feel better tomorrow. Haruto closes his eyes as Lila gets in bed and looks at Haruto happily. With his first day in this world over, Haruto gladly goes to sleep in his accepted form.